All right, all right. Shalom, shalom. I'd like to start off by saying Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Kol Haloyim La, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles, great millstone who rule well. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect that scattered abroad, the Akim and the Akwat that's listening in. Yahweh Ratazah, Lord willing that the lesson is edifying. It's the brother Shawab and Muwan back at you with another lesson. And the title of this lesson is called The Final Deception. All right. And Project BB. All right, which I'll get into that. I ain't gonna say no words. All right, for strike reasons. All right, but going into this topic, it came from inspiration on a post that was put on Instagram. All right, and I'm gonna show you the video. And this is gonna be a big deception that they're gonna try to bring upon the people. All right, with their little project agendas that they have, with their technology that they're able to deceive the people with. All right, but those that are in the know, all right, know exactly how Yahweh Shai is supposed to return. All right, and we know that, little green men from Mars do not exist. All right, let me grab this video real quick. 1 second. All right, now this video.
On UFOs, the Pentagon's expert warning about a possible mothership coming close to Earth. Stay with us. 60 seconds, the new draft report on UFOs. The Pentagon's expert warning about a possible mothership coming close to Earth. Stay with us.
All right, so it says an alien mothership is approaching Earth. Pentagon experts warn. A reminder that our responsible AI is the only entity that could protect the Earth against alien invasion. All right, which that's all the crock of shit. All right, there is no AI that's going to be able to stop the terror of the Lord, man. When he comes with his saints, all right, when he comes with his angels. All right, this alien mothership that they're talking about. Okay, now we know that Yahweh Shai is on his way. All right, but these devils are gonna try to deceive the people, all right, with this philosophy of aliens, all right, so that they are afraid of these chariots. Basically, these UFOs are known as chariots in the scriptures, which those are the vehicles, let's just say, that the angels ride in. Okay. So they're gonna try to make you basically not believe that those are men of the Lord, but those are aliens from Mars. All right, these are aliens that are coming from different, planets and things like that. And by them doing that, people are gonna always have fear that there's another kind out there above them. All right, that's able to control all things. All right, but again, we know that Yahweh Shai is the only true power. All right. And if you are in the know of the scriptures, you know that this is what the Lord is coming back on. This is the glory that he's coming back on. This is the same way that our Lord was ascended up into the clouds. All right. After 3 days of after he arose in 3 days. All right. And what did the angels say in the Acts, the first chapter? All right, why do you stare at the heavens? The same way that your Lord has gone up is the same way that the Lord is coming back. Okay. So right now they're trying to paint this narrative of that there's other life out there, and you just seen it with the Mexico, forgot where it was, but it was somewhere in Mexico where they have found remains of an alien and all that, which is that's all bullshit. Okay. But these are the things that they're going to start doing more and more. And they've been doing it for the longest. All right. They've been doing it for forever. And through movies, all right, showing you about aliens and books, all right, and the different philosophies, astrology, and all this crazy ass shit, all right, that has, blinded the masses to think that there's life out there, all right. And they actually try to tie it into Nephilim, to the Nephilim, all right, angels that came down to earth, all right, and has sex with actual daughters of men. All right, they'll call them reptilians and things like that. But again, another tactic for them to, a fear tactic to install fear in you. Okay. Um, Going back to what I was just saying, they've been doing this for years. All right, this is something that Apostle Gabar always goes into. In Washington D.C. in 1952, they had an invasion. All right, and pretty much, I would say that the moment these devils were able to go into the heavens, all right, and start to put down their satellites and all that, all right, and build these space stations, is pretty much the downfall of what was the downfall of America. All right, because that's pretty much when their sins have reached onto the heavens, them being able to go out there into the firmament. All right, and the reason they have these space stations is because they're constantly watching the activity that the angels do. All right, they know that the angels go in and out. All right, constantly watching. All right, what does the scripture say? That the eyes of the Lord are upon the sinful kingdom. And I believe that this article right here that had this incident that happened in 1952, all right, was the angels showing themselves, because the angels will show themselves, man, because again, they're watching everything that's happening in this wicked ass kingdom. All right, but I believe that these chariots showed themselves because they were constantly watching what the wickeds were doing. All right, and their intent was to basically go out to, outer space and be able to see what's going on, and post their satellite dishes, and constantly see what's out there. And then they were able to deceive the masses with, them landing on the moon and all that shit. And they ain't never land on the moon, man. All right. They wish they can. See, they know that the elect, all right, that the people of Israel are gonna be able to do these things later in the kingdom. So they wish upon these things, man, but they're not able to do these things. All right, because it's out of their control. The Lord said that He has given bounds that they cannot pass. All right, so they have a limit to their wickedness and to their rulership. All right, the rest is of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. All right, so let me go into this article real quick. Okay, and let me make sure I'm live. All right, yeah, I'm live. So going into the article, it says, I'll read a little bit of it. I ain't gonna go too much into it, but you can read it for yourself. It says 1952, Washington, D.C. UFO incident. From July 12th to the 29th of 1952, a series of unidentified flying objects sightings were reported in Washington, D.C., and later became known as the Washington Flap, the Washington National Airport sightings, or the invasion of Washington. The most publicized sightings took place on consecutive weekends, July 19th and the 20th, and then July 26th and the 27th. UFO historian Curtis Pebbles called the incident the climax of the 1952 UFO flap. Yeah, see, they called it the climax, all right, because they probably never had seen anything like that. Okay, and that was them angels showing themselves, man, because they were watching everything they were doing. They know what their intents were. Okay, that they wanted to go out there and deceive the people, and go out there to outer space with their space stations. All right. So I believe, through the spirit, they showed themselves for that reason, man. All right. And this is another reason why we know it was Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. All right. Because it says, never before or after did Project Blue Book and the Air Force undergo such a tidal wave of UFO reports. All right. This is the one event on the 19th and the 20th. All right. It says, at 11:40 p.m. on Saturday, July 19, 1952, a traffic controller, Washington National Airport, spotted 7 objects in his radar. All right. And us knowing this truth, we know and understand that 7 is a representation of what? Of completion. All right. This is why I believe it was, it was definitely the angels watching these devils, because it was a complete number. All right. And 7 is a completion. All right. So they were completely watching the wickedness of these devils, and they were onto it, and they were already starting to show themselves. And ever since ever since these devils been went out to outer space and, to see the masses with, touching planets and all that, these angels have been showing themselves more and more. All right, because the Lord said that this is the curse that goes before the whole entire earth. All right. So in those last days, the Lord will reveal himself more and more. And that's what he's doing with these angels, all right, causing, that confusion between the people, because these people are confused of what it is, but we're not confused because we know exactly what it is. All right. But it says spotted 7 objects on his radar. The objects were located 15 miles, 24 kilometers southwest of the city. No known aircraft were in the area, and the objects were not following any established flight paths. Okay. We knew immediately. I'm gonna skip a couple parts. It says we knew immediately that a very strange situation existed. That's right, and that's why the scriptures say that they're gonna be when they see the strangeness of our salvation. Okay, they're just gonna be bugged out, because it is a strange thing to the people because they don't understand it. All right, but to us is our hope. To us is our salvation. All right, to us is what we look for the most. All right, every time when we were in slavery, we sang songs like "Swing Low, Sweet Chariot." All right, coming to bring us home. Yeah, because that was our people wanting to get out of the situation, the hell that they were going through, man. Because our people knew that we had a power. All right, until our oppressor pretty much beat it out of us and made us think otherwise. All right, and we lost our complete heritage. All right, but the Lord said that in those last days he was going to put us in back into remembrance. Okay, let me see what it says over here. It says July 26th, all right, 8:15 on Saturday, July 26, 1952. A pilot, blah blah blah, flight into Washington observed some lights above their plane. Within minutes, both radar centers at National Airport, and the radar at Andrews AFB were tracking more unknown objects. All right. Let me see if it has a number here. It says arrived, denied several reporters request to photograph the radar screens. Did see 4 white glows and chased them. All right, so now that we're seeing white glows, all right, which we see that a lot also, through videos that people end up taking and, end up recording. And you always see, sometimes it's 7, sometimes it's 3, sometimes it's 4, whatever it is. All right, they're always, simultaneously moving next to each other, symmetrically, perfect lines. All right, they do all types of crazy movement that you can't, that no plane or any technology out here can ever do. Okay, and that's why it's strange to these people. All right, but going off of this, article, like I said, I believe when this started to happen, it was because they were constantly watching the wickedness of this place. All right, and then these devils went out to outer space. What was it in? I believe it was 1969. All right, that's when you had what is it, Apollo 11, whatever it was, went out there and they touched the moon. All right, and then by 1971, they already had the first. As a matter of fact, I got it right here. I was looking it up. Yeah, 1971 was the first time that they launched the first space station. Okay, so you see how all of this is kind of next to each other. All right, the first man, 1969. All right, so right after that is when the downfall of America began. All right, and more UFO sightings were constantly being made because they were always around since the ancient. You even see it how they speak about it, in the times of like when they had hieroglyphics and things like that. They were painting these pictures on the walls, man, because they knew about these chariots. All right. I was just showing that so you can see what I was reading. But let me go into to show you that there's no aliens, okay? That they are UFOs with angels. Let's go to Ezekiel first chapter. The first chapter explains what these chariots look like. Okay, let me set that up, and let me set this up real quick. The other one I wanted was you know what, let me just go there. I'll start Ezekiel 1. All right, so this is going into what the chariots and what the angels look like. Okay. All right, and I'll kind of just jump around. All right, I'll start at Ezekiel 1 and 4. And it says, and I looked, and behold, a whirlwind came out of the north, because this is a vision that Ezekiel's seeing. All right, a great cloud of fire enfolding itself, and a brightness was about it. And out of the midst thereof, as the color of amber, and out of the midst of the fire. All right. So, you know, we tell you that this is a chariot because we know that no one can ride on a cloud. All right. And the Lord is coming back in that great glory, which, you know, is referred to as a cloud in the scriptures. All right. But you got to use a little common sense, man. There's nothing that could ride on the actual cloud. Okay. So that great cloud is talking about Yahushua returning on that mothership that they were basically just saying that they have been seeing. Okay. And it tells you that in the second Ezra, the 13th chapter. All right. It explains how that mothership covered the whole region. All right. Ezra couldn't even see the region because it was such a big chariot. All right. And it says, and out of the, let's grab, as a matter of fact, a great cloud. Let me see what that says. A great cloud. A great cloud. All right. It says cloudy, cloud mass, theophanic cloud. All right. Now this word theophanic, let me grab this real quick. Hold on. Let me take out these tabs. All right. Theophanic. All right. Theophanic. It says a visible manifestation to humankind of Yahweh or a power. All right. So ain't no cloud gonna be able to do that, man. All right. The Lord is coming back on his glory, and he's gonna be made visible. All right. He's gonna manifest. All right. Everything that's been written in these scriptures to humankind. All right. That he is the power, that he is the power above all powers, that there is no power beside him. Okay. Now, let me go back to see what else it says in here. Yeah, the Jacinius Hebrew says, it says, as covering and veiling over the heaven, compare cloud from the root to cover to veil over. All right. Yeah, because he's gonna actually cover the wickedness. All right, and he's gonna cover the let me put it to you like this. This devil has had the veil up upon us. All right. And what's happening right now is this devil's being exposed. So that veil is being pulled back. All right. It's being revealed onto the people. Okay. So when Yahushua comes, man, he's coming to cover all the wickedness. All right. The deceit shall be put out, basically. All right. And everything is being unveiled through the prophets. Okay. So it says, yeah, I hope I'm making sense. All right. Using the image of something transcendent. All right. Let me grab this now, going back. All right, let me continue reading real quick. It said, in a great cloud, you know what? Let me do this. I just thought of something else. Hebrews 11. All right, to show you, all right, because Enoch was taken by a chariot. All right, it tells you right here, when you go into the story of Enoch, Enoch was found worthy. All right. He was pleasing, very pleasing to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. So the Lord translated him that he should not see death. All right. So he didn't die. He just basically disappeared out of thin air when you read about it. Okay. So how is someone going to be able to be translated like that? How is someone supposed to be, disappear out of thin air unless it was some neutral supernatural power? Okay. It says, by faith, Enoch was translated that he should not see death, and was not found, because Yahweh had translated him. For before his translation, he had this testimony that he had pleased Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. All right, let's go into this word translated. All right, translated. It says to transpose two things, one of which is put in place of the other. All right, to transfer. You see, he was transferred from being in a terrestrial body. All right, basically going into celestial, and the Lord took him away in the chariot, man. All right, it says to transfers oneself, or suffer oneself to be transferred. Pretty much saying the same thing. All right, let me see this transpose real quick. All right. Come on. Slovakia. It's taking a sweet time. All right, you know what? Let me grab my phone, Slovakia. It's taking too long. Transpose. Definition of transpose. Oh, there it is right there. Transpose says cause two or more things to change places with each other. Okay. Yeah, so he switched, he exchanged, switch, swap, transfer. All right. So he was changed, he was taken from earth. All right. And he was taken basically with Yahweh Shai, man. All right, into that spirit world, man. It's that simple. Okay. Now, let me go back. Let me see. I saw another word in here. What was it? Because he was translated same word, and then I seen translation. Let's see what translation. To change of the things instituted or established. Change, removing. All right. Yeah, he removed them from this place and put them with him. All right. But it didn't say much. So now let me go back to where I originally was at. In Ezekiel. All right. So it says a great cloud and a fire enfolding itself, all right, making itself present, and brightness was about it, and out of the midst thereof the color of amber. All right, that color of amber. When you go into the color of amber out of the midst of fire, that word amber goes into Hasamal, right? And it says a shining substance, amber or electrum or bronze. Okay. When they show you these movies of UFOs and all that, what do you always see? You see a shiny substance. You see a bronze colored, all right, polished spectrum metal, just like it says right here. All right, probably a bronze or polished spectrum metal. Okay. Which, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, man, creator of all things, he's going to use, things and elements that we probably never used before. All right. Or haven't even heard of. All right. So this is what it was looking like. All right. The actual chariot, an actual spectrum metal, just like you see in these movies. All right. Now it says, also out of the midst thereof came the likeness of four living creatures, and this was their appearance. They had the likeness of a man. You see, the angels in there had the likeness of a man. I ain't no little green ass aliens that's coming out of Mars, man. That's some bugged out shit. It says, and everyone had four faces, and everyone had four wings, and their feet were straight feet, and the sole of their feet was like the sole of a calf's foot, and they sparkled like the color of burnished brass. You see, this is what they look like, man. Just like Yahushua is mentioned in Revelations, the first chapter. All right, that his skin tone was what? It was as like if it was as brass as it was burned in the furnace. All right, same thing here, as a burnished brass. So that means that they're dark-skinned men. That's what our angels are looking like. And it says, and they had the hands of a man under their wings on their four sides, and they four had their faces and their wings. Their wings were joined one to another, and they turned not when they went. They went every one straight forward. As for the likeness of their faces, they four had the face of a man and the face of a lion on the right side, and they four had the face of an ox on the left side. They four also had the face of an eagle. Thus were their faces, and their wings were stretched upward. Two wings of every one were joined one to another, and two covered their bodies. All right, which I'm not too sure exactly. I have seen a video on it, but I have to double check with brothers, with older brothers has been in this truth for a while. I believe those faces have a representation, like each one of those faces. All right, like the lion, the eagle, they each represent a certain thing. All right. I used to say it back in the day, but I kind of stayed away from it just in case I'm off on that. All right, but I did get the breakdown from brother in GMS when I first came into the truth. All right, but they do, I believe they do represent something. All right, each one of them. But let's continue on. All right, it says, thus were their faces, and their wings were stretched upward. Two wings of every one were joined one to another, and two covered their bodies. And they went every one straight forward. Whether the spirit was to go, they went, and they turned not when they went. All right, yeah, because you have to understand, we, like us, we are angels, all right, and ministering bodies. All right, we're a spirit, okay, in a body. So it's telling you right here, and they went everyone straight forth, whether the spirit was to go. All right, so it's telling you that these the chariots and the angels, all right, basically they were in sync together. The spirit was in sync with the chariot. So wherever the spirit took it, all right, wherever which way the angel went is the way that the chariot will go. All right. And it says, as for the likeness of the living creatures, their appearance was like burning coals of fire, and like the appearance of lamps, it went up and down among the living creatures, and the fire was bright, and out of the fire went forth lightning. It says, and the living creatures ran and returned as the appearance of a flashing lightning. All right. And hey, that's how it would be, man, because the Lord, what does it say in Job? All right, it speaks about how the Lord, when he speaks, it's all about thunder and rain and lightning. All right, that's the way the Lord's power comes out, man. That's why when you hear thunder and things like that, you're afraid when you hear that thunder and that lightning crack a certain way. All right, that's the power of the Lord. All right, so you know these angels have the same. They create the same thing. Lightning flashes, all of that. All right, thunder, and it says. Reading on, it says, now as I beheld the living creatures, behold, one wheel upon the earth by the living creatures with his four faces. The appearance of the wheels and their work was like unto the color of beryl, and they four had one likeness, and their appearance and their work was as it were a wheel in the middle of a wheel. All right. When you look at a chariot, when they show you UFOs, it's literally a wheel within a wheel. It's a circle in the ends and the outside, and what a circle in the middle of it. Okay. And it says, when they went upon their four sides, and they turned not when they went. As for their rings, they were so high that they were dreadful, and their rings were full of eyes round about them four. All right, which let me see. Yeah, this is going into how the let me see, the appearance of the wheels. Yeah, the appearance of the wheels is going into how the chariot looked. All right, the eyes and all that is going into what the lights look like. When you look at a chariot, so, you know, it has all these bright lights and red, green, blue, all of that. All right. The eyes also representing the windows. Okay. It says, hold on. It says, and their rings were full of eyes round about them four. And when the living creatures went, the wheels went by them. And when the living creatures were lifted up from the earth, the wheels were lifted up. Whithersoever the spirit was to go, they went. Thither was their spirit to go. And the wheels were lifted up over against them, for the spirit of the living creature was in the wheels. Okay. You see, so that's the angels inside the chariots, man. When those went, these went. And when those stood, these stood. And when those were lifted up from the earth, the wheels were lifted up over against them, for the spirit of the living creature was in the wheels. All right. Another thing I wanted to bring out before I forget. Let me grab it out. Showing give me a second. I think it's in Exodus. Oh, Salakia. Take that in wrong. Exodus 19, I want to say. Yeah, because when Moses went to Mount Sinai, right? You had the chariot, all right, Yahweh, while Yahweh came down, all right, and Moses was up in the mountain, all right, for 7 days. All right, let me grab it where I want it from. Give me 1 second. I think it's on the third day. The Lord visits. All right, maybe right here. Yeah, look, this is Exodus 19 and 18. It says, and Mount Sinai was altogether on a smoke, because the Lord Yahweh descended upon it in fire. All right, yeah, he came down. You got to look at, when you see these UFO movies, right? What do you see when a chariot, when a UFO is coming down in the movies? All right, it's always coming down, and there's always pillars of fire on the bottom of it. All right, and when it lands, it starts to create the smoke because it's landing. All right, it's the same thing that was happening right here. All right, it says, and Mount Sinai was altogether on a smoke. Let me go into a couple of these words. All right, a smoke, on a smoke. All right, to be furious. Vapor, smoke, spirit. Nah, that's regular smoke. Let's go into because of the Lord Yahweh descended. All right. Let me see here, because I was looking at this earlier and it had some beautiful words in there, but you know what's funny? It looked like, because I was doing it from my phone, and these devils know when we're constantly on the computers looking things up, they know exactly the IP addresses and everything. They mess with it sometimes. But it says to code down, all right, prostrate, sink. Give me 1 second. Maybe it's down more. All right. Descended, which we already know what descend means. It means to go down, to go down. All right. And then it says, upon it in fire. Let me see what fire says. Yeah. All right, look, fire. So he came down, right? And there was smoke as he was coming down. And then it was fire, a supernatural fire. Okay. Supernatural is out of this world, man. All right. Accompanying Theophany. All right. Theophany, whatever you want to call it. All right. I think it's Theophany. All right. Well, we looked up earlier. Theophanic. All right. Yep. Theophanic. A visible manifestation to humankind of Yahweh. All right. So what we just seen here. Oh, did I do that right? Yeah, I did do that right. Yeah. All right. It says a visible manifestation to humankind of power of God. All right. Now going back. Salakia. Salaki, if I never changed that, I probably didn't even change that. Let me see what brothers are saying. All right, going back. All right, it says supernatural fire accompanying theophany. All right, so this is a supernatural power, man, out of this world. All right, supernatural. Let me see what it says here. What does it mean to be supernatural? Yeah, see, supernatural, it says of a manifestation or event attributed to some force beyond scientific understanding. All this shit that they talk about, UFOs and all these scientific, all right, scientific hypothesis. A hypothesis is an educated guess. These people don't know what these things really are, man. They're just throwing, well, the elites know exactly what it is, but the elite's job is to send those that they brainwash with their philosophies to go out there and teach you their philosophy, all right, to make you feel like there's aliens out of outer space, man, when they're not. All right, these are the angels of the Lord. All right, the Lord, when he came down to speak onto Moses, all right, he came down and descended, all right, in a supernatural way with fire and all that. That's how you know it was the chariots. Okay, going back. All right, it says oh, my bad. Let me go back a little bit more. There we go. It says, and Mount Sinai was altogether on a smoke because the Lord, all right, descended upon it in fire. He came down on top of the mountain, all right, with smoke and fire, which that fire was what? It was a supernatural fire. And this is how we know that it was coming from the chariots, man. Because these people didn't, they knew about these things, but it was not like their everyday thing that they was going to pull up on them, man. The chariots is only for the nation of Israel at the end of the day, all right, and for the destruction of the rest of these nations. So it says, therefore, thereof ascended as the smoke of the furnace. All right, Salakia. And Mount Sinai was altogether on the smoke because the Lord descended upon it in fire, and the smoke thereof ascended as the smoke of a furnace, and the whole mount quaked greatly. All right. And when the voice of the trumpet sounded long and waxed louder and louder, Moses spake, and Yahweh answered him by a voice. All right. And it said, in the Lord, Yahweh came down upon Mount Sion on the top of the mount, and the Lord, Yahweh called Moses up to the top of the mount, and Moses went up. All right. Let me go into this other account real quick. Yeah, this is when Elijah was taken to heaven. All right. Let me grab it from. Matter of fact, let's take this first verse right here. It says, and it came to pass when the Lord would take up Elijah into heaven by a whirlwind. All right, because the whirlwind is the chariots. All right, they're referred to as clouds, referred to as chariots, referred to as whirlwind. All right. So, and it's referred to as mountains. You just got to know when it's actually speaking of those chariots and when it's not, because these words also have different meanings. All right. It's also referred to as the horses. Okay. The horses represent power. Government also represents power and dominion over things. So that, you know, that's what they represent at the end of the day. Power, because that's the glory that the Lord is coming in. Okay. And it says that Elijah went up with Elisha from Gilgal. And it says, let me grab it from take up, I believe, would take up. Would take up, let's see, to go ascend. All right, this is going, yeah, look, to go up, rise of natural phenomenon. This is why the elders tell you got to go into these words, man, so you can break down the word etymology of these words and actually have the understanding of what's being said, man. You have to learn how to piece it together through the spirit. You'll piece it together if this is of you, man. If it resonates with your spirit, all right. But again, it says to go up over, rise of natural phenomena. All right. Now it says, and Elijah said unto Elisha, tarry here, all right, which through the spirit, if you could receive it, Enoch was Elijah, all right. And it says, and Elijah said unto Elisha, tarry here, I pray thee, for the Lord Yahweh has sent me to Bethel. And Elisha said unto him, as the Lord liveth, and as thy soul liveth, I will not leave thee. So they went down to Bethel. All right, let me just get to the point. Where's it at? Yeah, this is up at 2 Kings 2:9. Actually, I'll start from 6. And it says, and Elijah said unto him, tarry, I pray thee here, for the Lord has sent me to Jordan. And he said, as the Lord liveth, and as thy soul liveth, I will not leave thee. And they too went on. And 50 men of the sons of the prophets went and stood to view afar off, and they too stood by Jordan. And Elijah took his mantle and wrapped it together and smote the waters, and they were divided hither and thither, so that they too went over on dry ground. And it came to pass when they were gone over that Elijah said unto Elisha, ask what I shall do for thee before I be taken away from thee. And Elisha said, I pray thee, let a double portion of thy spirit be upon me. And he said, thou hast asked a hard thing. Nevertheless, if thou see me when I am taken from thee, it shall be so unto thee. But if not, it shall not be so. Let me see this word taken from thee. Let's see what it says there. Taken. Taken. It says, oh, wow. Yeah, that's a good one right there to use for a different lesson. But let me see. Carry off. I just want to see what it said. Many mingle place, receive, reserve, seize, accept. All right, it's lucky. And it says, where was I? Okay, it says, as what I shall do for thee, ask what I shall do for thee before I be taken away from thee. And Elisha said, I pray, let the double portion of thy spirit be upon me. And he said that thou hast asked a hard thing. Nevertheless, if thou see me when I am taken from thee, it shall be so unto thee. But if not, it shall not be so. And it came to pass, as they still went on and talked, that behold, there appeared a chariot of fire. All right, a chariot of fire. All right, and when you think of the chariot of fire, you should think of the time of Exodus, man. All right, we had the pillar of smoke by day, and the pillar of fire by night. All right, which that was a chariot. The chariot is what led our people through the Red Sea. Okay, the chariot is what made the waters, all right, go to its sides and open up for us to walk through. And that chariot was Yahweh Shai, man. All right, because Yahweh Shai is always our salvation, man. He is the one that delivers. Okay, so Yahweh Shai was the one on that chariot, man. All right, so it goes Salakia. What word was I going into? And it came to pass, as they still went on and talked, and behold, there appeared a chariot of fire. That's what I wanted. There appeared. Ooh, they didn't put that word in there. I wanted that word appeared. That would have been a good one right there. All right, appeared a chariot of fire. A chariot, a team. Let me see what they say. Because sometimes Esau will come out, he'll put it in there too in plain writing for you. Beast themselves, a chariot. All right. Let me see what it says for fire. Chariot. Oh, where'd I go? A chariot of fire. Here you go again. A chariot of fire. Supernatural fire. You can't make this up, man. All right, yeah, because that's exactly, look, Yahweh's anger, because that's exactly what the Lord is coming, man. All right, let me grab that real quick. This is Isaiah, what is that, 66, I believe it is. This is 66 and 15. For behold, the Lord will come with fire, and with his chariots like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury and his rebuke with flames of fire. For by fire and by his sword will the Lord plead with all flesh, and the slain of the Lord shall be many. You see? Let's see what it says here. Will come with fire like a whirlwind. Chariots, with his chariots. You know what? Damn, I forgot where it's at. I was looking it up earlier, and it was crazy because it said, especially a war chariot. Yeah, because the Lord, right, is a man of war. All right, and what did the Lord say in Jude? All right, that Enoch prophesied of these things. Why did Enoch prophesy of these things? Because that's what Enoch went up in when he was translated. All right, and what did he say? That the Lord coming with 10,000s of his saints. All right, but I'm trying to remember what word it was. There was a certain word I was reading earlier, and it was beautiful because it actually went into armies. And that's what the Lord of hosts is, man. The Lord of hosts is the Lord of armies. And that's what the Lord is bringing, his army, man. When he comes back to destroy this place, he's coming with his army. All right. Let me see if I remember where that was. Give me a second real quick. Like a whirlwind. Overflow. A hurricane, Red Sea, storm, tempest. Yo, that's funny. It says the Red Sea right there. All right. Because that's the spirit. I was just saying that we were delivered through the Red Sea by Yahweh Shai, man. And this chapter is about Yahweh Shai coming back. All right. If you could receive it through the spirit. To render his anger with fury and his rebuke with the flames of fire. Let me go back to where I was. This might be in this chapter. All right, but this was going back into Kings. All right. And it says, and it came to pass as they still went on and talked that behold, there appeared a chariot of fire and the horses of fire and parted them both asunder, and Elijah went up. All right, let me see that. By a whirlwind into heaven. Let me go. Let me see what went up says. Give me 1 second. It's the same thing as the other words. Yep. Because sometimes it'll change the actual definition when you go into certain chapters. That's how you know it's a different meaning at that moment. There was nothing there. All right. So it says, and then it says, and Elisha saw it, and he cried, my father, the chariot of Israel and the horsemen thereof. All right. The chariot of Israel. Let's go into that. The chariot of Israel. Same thing over here that we just read. The multitude. Yeah, look. Millstone, multitude, Let me see. Chariot of Israel. Yep. And the horsemen thereof. Let's see what the horsemen thereof. It says horse, steed, war horse, a steed as stretched out to a vehicle, not single nor for mounting. 1 second. Let's lock it. No, it's not saying nothing there neither. I was hoping I ran into the one with the armies. All right. But it says, and Elisha saw it, and he cried, my father, the chariot of Israel and the horsemen thereof. And he saw him no more, and he took hold of his own clothes and rent them in 2 pieces. All right. So he was given that double portion. All right. Why? Because he saw Elisha go up. I mean, he saw Elijah go up. Elisha got to see Elijah go up on that chariot, man, which made it more of a testimony to believe, man. All right. Let me see what else is being said here. Just want to make sure I'm not missing something. Trying to remember where I saw that one part. It's all right though. So let me go into real quick. Let me see. I'm still running. Yep. All right. So let me go into 13th chapter of 2nd Ezra. Oh, my bad. 13th chapter. 2nd Ezra 13. And I'll start from 3. And it says, and I beheld, all right, because this was Ezra's having a dream, all right, after the 7 days of him fasting. And this is the vision that the Lord gave him. And it says, and I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. You see, that man is going into Yahushua, waxing strong with the thousands of heaven, the saints, the angels that's coming with him on them chariots. And when he turned his countenance to look, all the things trembled that were seen under him. All right. Yeah. And this is what's going to happen. This is why they're trying to install that these are aliens and things like that. All right. Because they want you to believe that, because they're going to actually have you drafted to the war. They're going to put you to war against Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, man. All right, that's that great war that it speaks about, the war in heaven. All right, Satan is and his angels against Yahweh Bashem Yahushua and his angels. All right, that's just talking about Yahushua. All right, our Lord going to war with the military governments of this society, man. All right, there's no it's no the Lord and the devils fighting against each other, man, in a Mortal Kombat fight. That's retarded. The Lord is in control of evil, man. Satan is his servant, man. All right. So that's speaking about when our military government, all right, which this is why they've been brainwashing you for years upon years with the nonsense of aliens, all right, because these people really gonna believe that they think they're going to fight with aliens, man. When it's gonna be Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, and they're not gonna prevail against them, man. This place is gonna be done in an hour, all right. The military government that goes after Yahushua, which explains right here what they're gonna do. All right, they're not gonna be able to defeat the Lord, man. Crazy as hell. All right, so it says, and whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, and this is why they're. Let me grab this real quick. I'm not even gonna say the word, but y'all gonna see me type it in. All right. This is why they're gonna be able to deceive the masses, man. With this right here, it can make any image pop up, right? They can make any image pop up with this right here. All right, this is let's see, they're probably not even gonna give you too much info, yeah, because brothers be going into it so much. They don't like that we bringing it out, because usually there's a whole Wikipedia thing on it. All right. me see if this is in a different. Yeah. See, this is what it's called. All right. And it says was a Canadian investigative journalist, all right, poet, essayist, and conspiracy theorist. He is known to English speaking readers mainly for the originating the conspiracy theory PBB, all right, which concerns an alleged plot to facilitate a to, totalitarian world government, couldn't get it out for a second, by destroying traditional regionals, all right, Salakia regionals, religions, and replacing them with a new age belief system using NASA technology. And these devils is able to make Caesar Borgia appear in the sky if they want. They can make every god according to every nation appear in their skies if they want with this technology, man. And this is something that they're going to be trying to deceive. This is why the topic of this lesson is the final deception, all right, which I'm going to show you something right now real quick. This right here, all right, the middle of right. I was spending, before I did this lesson, I spent like an hour and a half, 2 hours looking for this one particular card, and I could not find it. All right. But this card I'm about to show you, right? This is part of this game right here that I'm highlighting. I ain't gonna say the word, all right, but it's part of this game. All right. And I remember when before I came into this truth, see, I came into this truth in what 2020, 2019, around 2020, I came into this truth. I knew about this card in like 2013 because before I came into this truth, I strongly believe through the Spirit the Lord showed me a lot of wickedness. All right, and it makes sense because the Lord shows you wickedness first, man, for you to understand righteousness and for you to enjoy righteousness. So I was into a lot of looking up videos and getting lost in the internet on this type of topics right here. And I remember the original card, all right, of this card right here, which I'm going to show you. All right, this is the card right here. I couldn't find it, okay, but I tried my hardest because I've been wanting to find it for the longest just to prove my point. All right, but this card right here, as you can see on the right, let me see if I can make it bigger. Can I or not? Oh, no. No, I couldn't make it bigger, but it says it right here. Church of Middle America. All right. And it's funny because in Middle America, let me grab that real quick. Middle America consists of, where was it that I was reading? Middle America, the middle class in the U.S., blah, 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 blah. Two, this is the one I want. It says the North American region that includes Mexico, Central America, and often the West Indies. All right. And if you did, all those that were just mentioned is all Israelites. All right. This is all where our people are. All right. This is basically going into the Mexico, Central America, and the West Indies is going into the northern tribes, all right, but West Indies going into the southern tribe, all right, but yum, okay, but and also south of South America is all where the Latin tribes are, all right, but the point is, the Middle America, all right, is consisted of these right here, and the greatest deliverance is going to be right here in America. So it's funny that they called it the Church of Middle America, all right, because that's what's coming to save us, man, and they know that. All right, but going back into this card, before this card was turned into Church of Middle America, I promise you 100% positive. All right. This was called the Final Deception. All right. And because videos started coming out, they started changing it to this. This is like second edition of the game, third edition they have. All right. You got to go into the original cards, man. You got to go for the first one that was ever created. All right. And the original card said the Final Deception. All right. And this is with that PBB. All right. That Project Blue. All right. They're going to be able to deceive people, man, making them think that there are actual aliens out there. All right. Why? Because they don't have the knowledge of the Lord. All right. They don't have the understanding in the spirit to know that those are the chariots and that's what's coming to destroy this place. Okay. So going back, I just wanted to bring that out before I forgot. I don't know if I'm pretty sure I didn't bring it out in the beginning. All right. So in the beginning, in this card, it originally said the Final Deception, which this is going to be a way that they're going to try to deceive peoples. All right. With what we're reading right here. All right. And let me see. It basically said it right here. It said, which concerns an alleged plot to facilitate a totalitarian world government by destroying traditional religions. All right. Why are they going to destroy these religions? Because they were never fucking real. All right. See, they can't destroy this truth. Why? Because it's not a religion. All right. It's a heritage onto our people. And it says, and replacing them with a new age belief system. All right. Going into that digital messiah. All right. Everything being technology. All right. They were able to deceive the masses by the means of those miracles. Okay. And I'm not going to read too much into this at all. All right. But basically what it's able to do is just think of a projector screen, man. When you put a projector screen to the wall, you can make anything pop up on the wall. Well, it's the same thing they could do in the skies. All right. They're able to deceive the masses and make it look like we're under attack by, aliens and all that shit. And meanwhile, the shit ain't even real. Let me see what that said. New Age belief system is a range of spiritual and religious practices and beliefs which rapidly grew in the Western society. Yeah, see, religion comes from the Western society, man. All right, but yeah, man, that's pretty much the point. All right, point has been made. It was just to basically update on what's going on with these devils trying to, deceive us with a mothership coming with aliens to destroy us. No, man, that's crack of shit, man. All right, Yahushua is coming. All right. If anything, they see they see the chariots of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua getting closer and closer, and he's very close because we're almost up out of here, man. This place is about to go down any day. All right, it's all set up, ready to go. All right, it's all on the touch of the Lord's finger when He touches that one domino. All right, to make that whole entire domino effect, because the domino effect is going to be crazy. The domino effect is going to be multiple things happening at once to the point where you're so overwhelmed that you can't even focus on anything. This is why knowledge and wisdom shall be the stability of thy times. All right, because we understand that the Lord said it's going to be a time that has never been seen upon the whole entire earth. All right, so a time that has never been seen upon the earth, you're going to see things you've never seen. Things out of this world, things that you only see in movies. All right. But all these are of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai on the righteous side and on the wicked side. All right. Make sure that you're on the righteous side so you're able to understand these things. Because what the scriptures say, the wicked shall do and they shall not understand, man. They're not going to understand judgment when this comes. Meanwhile, we will hear constantly over and over telling the people, warning them, all right, to open their eyes up to what's going on. All right. But let me see. Oh, that's what I wanted to finish. Yeah, let me finish reading this real quick. All right. So it said, where was I? Yeah, and it says, and I beheld, and lo, all right, going into third chapter, I mean, third verse. That man waxed strong, which is Yahushua, with the thousands of the heaven, the saints, the angels, the chariots. And when he turned his countenance to look, all the things trembled that were seen under him. And whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, they all burnt that heard his voice, like as the earth faileth when he feeleth the fire. All right, yeah, and that's going into the laser beams, man. The destruction that those chariots is going to be throwing out, laser beams and all types of concentrated lasers. It said, and after this I beheld, and lo, meaning look, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of number. All right, and this is the elect being gathered through them chariots. All right, the strangeness of our salvation. What they're gonna be amazed at when they see us being beamed up into them chariots, having no understanding. And it says, from the four winds of the earth, yeah, because we're scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. So the Lord's he's gonna gather us together. All right. Like I said, America's gonna be the main place where the gathering is gonna be. That's why you're seeing all these immigrants coming from left to right, man, coming to the Americas. All right. A lot, 66% of their asses is pretty much gonna end up going and passing through the getting smacked with the sword through pestilence. But you're gonna also have among them, you're gonna have a lot of the elect, man. That's why they're coming here. You either coming over here to be destroyed in the missiles, or you coming over here to be delivered. Okay, and it says, from the four winds of the heaven to subdue that man that came out of the sea. And but I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain and flew upon it. So how do you fly on a mountain? No one can fly on a mountain. Okay, this is why we know that this is talking about a chariot. All right, a great mountain, representing what? Mountain represents power. All right, a government. All right, great power in a great government that Yahushua is coming with. All right, and it says, but I would have seen the region or place wherefore the hill was graven, and I could not. Why? Because that chariot was so big. All right, I'll show you an example real quick, if this allows me. Give me a second, real quick. Give me 1 second. Move. Oh man, gotta type it in Slovakia. Movie scene in Independence Day with let me see if it shows it right here. Yeah, right here. Perfect one to show you. It just goes to show that they get these movies from the Bible, man. All right, this is exactly what Ezra saw. You see a giant, great mountain, a UFO that's covering the region. Okay. Funny they showed that, because did we not just read in the beginning of the lesson that 1952? All right, they had all them chariots surrounding around there, and they're showing you this right here, man. Everything is going to tremble. Right? Even when you read in Ezekiel and you keep reading all the way down, it talks about how it was making sounds and it sounded like waterfalls from a distance. Yeah, because when you hear chariots, that's what it sounds like. When they show you in the movies UFOs, it sounds like a bunch of waves crashing and clashing together. You know what I'm saying? Because the noises of it. All right. to the point. That's exactly what Ezra saw, man. All right. It was covering the region. Right? And then what happens? I don't think they'll show. No, they don't show it after that. But after that, a little bit like 10 minutes into the movie, 15 minutes after that, what happens? They go to war with the aliens. That's the war in heaven that the scriptures talk about. How Satan and his angels went to war with Yahweh Bashem Yahushua and his angels. All right. They started going after each other, but they couldn't defeat it. All right. Of course, they show you at the end that the dude went through the middle of it and exploded it, which is all bullshit. All right. But they were trying to fight the chariots and they couldn't fight them. All right. They were trying to destroy the big one and they couldn't. That's exactly how it's going to be in those last days, man. And this is how, they get these stories from these movies from the scriptures. All right. So it says, and I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain and flew upon it. Okay. And I would have seen the region or place whereout the hill was graven, and I could not. And after this I beheld, and lo, all they were gathered together to subdue him were sore afraid. Yeah, they were afraid when they saw this, man. But the Spirit of the Lord is going to be put in them to fight. The Lord's going, just like he did Pharaoh, and he kept hardening his heart. All right. That's what he's going to do to them. All right. He's going to put the Spirit on them to fight. That's why it says, and yet there's fight, because they were afraid to go after him. All right. They were afraid to go against Yahushua, but because the Lord's going to put the Spirit on them, they're going to fight anyway, man. And then it says, and lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war, but only I saw that he sent out of his mouth, all right, this is what's coming out of the chariots, as it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempest, and all they were all mixed together, the blast of fire and the flaming breath and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight. You see? And what do you see in that? All right. Matter of fact, let me see if I can bring it out real quick and I'll end it. I already went longer than I was supposed to. Right. Movie scene in Independence Day. Aliens fight jets. This is what they were seeing. This is what you're gonna see right here, man. This is what you're gonna see right here.
Delivery complete. Engage.
Delivery complete. It's a go. It's a go. Eagle 1. Box 3.
This is all of them going to war. All right. With Yahushua.
Kelvin, this is it. Come on.
Get to the point. Oh yeah, here you go. See?
Maneuvers. Squadron leaders. Evasive maneuvers.
Look. See these little laser beams that you see coming out of these UFOs. That's exactly what it's talking about. All right. The flames and the fire and the sparks and tempests that are coming out of the mouth of the ships. Okay, which they're gonna be worse than what you see here. It ain't gonna be nothing what you see on TV, man. This is gonna be supernatural. All right, but
Prepare to engage. All right, Mr. President, here we go.
that's the war in heaven right there. As a matter of fact, let me grab that real quick. I want to see something. Let me see something real quick. What does it say? And there was war in heaven. Let me see. And there was war. A war, a fight, a battle, dispute, strife, quarrel. I was hoping to say something else. Let me do this. It was war in heaven. The vaulted expanse of the sky with all things visible in it. Yeah, the sky with all things visible in it. Yeah, because that's exactly what you're going to be able to see. You're going to see the chariots of the Lord go to war, all right, with the governments here, which is not going to last. All right, it says the universe, the world. It says the aerial heavens or sky, the region where the clouds are, the tempest gathered. All right, which means regular skies. All right, a side real and a starry heavens, starry Salakia, the region above the. Yeah, that's pretty much. Yeah, not saying much, but yeah, it's gonna be in the vaulted expanse of the sky with all things visible in it. Yeah, you're gonna see in the skies, all right where you see these planes flying all the time, constantly passing over your house. All right, you're gonna see that actual war in the skies. All right, because if it was a spiritual war between God and the devil, all right, why would you be able to see it if it's spiritual? All right, but this is going to be an actual visible thing. This is how you know it's going to be a spirit, like the scriptures say right here. And let me grab it real quick. Let me see. It says it right here. One realm against another. Yep. This is 31. All right. And second Ezra was the 13th chapter. And one shall undertake to fight against another, one city against another, one place against another, one people against another. Yeah, because all these things are going to be happening simultaneously, man. All right. It's going to be literally war going everywhere. While World War III is going on, it's going to be war out here on the streets, man. All right. It's going to be war in this country, war in that country. All right. People fighting all over the place amongst each other. And it says one people against another and one realm against another. You see, because it's going to be spiritual heavens, man, coming down, the Lord of armies, to battle the carnal army, which is Esau and his little dominions. All right, but they're going to be taken out the way ASAP. All right, but hey, that's pretty much the point. Went way past my time on that, but Lord willing that the lesson was edifying. All right, so with that being said, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Kol Haloyam La, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakak Wadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles, great millstone who rule well. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect that scattered abroad, the Akim, the Akwat that was listening in. Yahweh Ratazah, Lord willing that the lesson is edifying. To the next one, Shalom, Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Barakatah.